Well, Capital Games and their infinite testing wisdom has done it again. In a matter of 1 week, CG has already topped their fastest nerf in gaming history record with the Wampa, with the brand new announced and unreleased just yet Mace Windu rework. Yes, in case you missed, we'll put a card in the top right hand corner. Mace Windu is getting a pretty substantial rework, up there with some of the more iconic reworks we had. Maybe not as big as when the Darth Vader rework came out, but still nonetheless a big deal. And it seems like maybe the community kind of gave them a little heads up on how to do their testing with the ideas we were coming up with. They're like, oh yeah, we should be testing out, and they are indeed nerfing Mace Windu, but they also came out. I got to give them credit. We'll talk more about that in a moment. They also gave us some clarification how this is going to work for the upcoming Grand Arena Week. So important things you need to know about Mace Windu if you want to use them for this upcoming Grand Arena cycle. So hope you didn't lock in yet, because some key important things that they also clarified. Some Jedi Master Kenobi interactions. Oh gosh. Do you think they ever test their game anymore? Well, all right, how about this? Let's test out this intro for the ad. How about that? Can you roll it, Gary? All right, hit it!
That's right, there's more than one species of elves, and today I'm going to enlighten you on the dark elves in our sponsor segment of Raid Shadow Legends. At one point, there was only one group of elves, but about 700 years ago, Cyroth tempted some of them away from the light. Eventually, a war sprung between the High Elves and Dark Elves. Inevitably, the High Elves won. And to this day, they are trying to fix the relationship between the High Elves and Dark Elves. There's never been a better time to join Raid. So use my links or scan my QR code and you'll get a free starter pack worth over $30. All this treasure will be waiting for you right up here, but you gotta be quick because these rewards are only available for the next 30 days.
All right, to cut CG a little bit of slack here, I am happy at least that you weren't trying to pull a fast one. The communication was extremely poor around Wampa. And if you guys remember, they released the Wampa Omicron kit reveal. It looked fantastic. And then they released an update without telling anyone. They changed how the kit was, and people started upgrading the Omicron without even knowing. And I think if we didn't give enough pushback on the Wampa Omicron thing, they would have kept it as nerfed, and people would have been gypped out of an Omicron potentially. So I'm glad we fought back on that. At least here, I think they're learning from their mistakes, which, by the way, I just applied the Wampa Omicron. Excited to use it for this upcoming Grand Arena Week. Got to redo the mods. I got to redo some mods because we also got to redo some mods for Mace Windu, and at least in this situation, they're letting us know in advance, hey, you know what? The kit reveal is a little too good to be true. We got to adjust things a little bit. It's not going to be as good. I still think the core of Mace Windu's kit is still going to be fantastic, but I think once the community starts telling him, because I think the problem with the testing at CG, I think they're way too narrowly focused. But when you have a million other brains working in the community saying, oh, I want to use a Jedi Master Luke, I want to use a Jedi Revan, teams that give a lot of assists. Originally, he was going to get 50% turn meter on a basic with this rework kit. It's not in game just yet. Don't worry about it. And when you consider all the turn meter gains, assisting capabilities of Jedi, and they're like, oh wait, we should probably test it out before we release it. So let's bring you on over here, and I'll highlight you on a few important things in regards to the Mace Windu rework here. So as we said, we saw the kit reveal this past Friday night. We're not going to go over it again. Check it out if you want to see it. In case you missed it, kind of a big deal character that people love, and it's been kind of neglected for way too dang long. And here's where the nerf comes in here. Basic ability, Invincible Assault. Originally, it was meant to give 50% turn meter. This tech deals bonus damage equal to 5% of Mace's max health. That's not changing, which is nice. If Mace is above 50% health, which is going to be a lot of the times, he was supposed to get 50% turn meter, as we see right here. But now it's 15% turn meter. And then if Mace is below 50% health, he recovers health equal to 100% of damage dealt. As they say here, the preview last Friday showed 50% turn meter, and on Mace's new basic ability instead of 15% turn meter. This was a balance change. It wasn't a communication issue where they thought, oh, is it 15 or 50? Like, yeah. No, it wasn't a communication issue. It looks like they did some more testing. They probably read the comments, everyone getting excited and telling everyone how they're going to use it. And 50% turn meter, especially if you look at like Jedi Master Luke, when you call him into assist, you're getting turn meter already off that assist. Getting 50% turn meter is kind of a lot of turn meter on top of that, which would have been nice. This was a balance change that came late in the testing process and was done after the interview. So at least they didn't do it after the fact, sneakily put it in the update notes, and then it wasn't even in the update notes. It was just secretly in game and no one saw the change on there. So that's the one thing you got to know about. And this is the next important thing in regards to how can you prepare your Mace Windu right now to utilize him this Grand Arena cycle. Lock-in for Grand Arena is roughly 3 hours from the time of recording this video. You can still make preparations to utilize this character for the upcoming Grand Arena, but you got to do it right now before you hit lock-in for Grand Arena, or even Territories for that matter, because it sounds like they're going to flip a switch later on this week. My hunch is Thursday. When they're going to release it. Again, pure speculation on when the release is. My guess is Thursday. Second reminder on what will happen to events currently running when the rework goes live. The upgrade level for all character abilities are locked at roster lock. So it's a little wordy here. Let's read it and I'll explain what it means in basic here. When we return the ability materials for Mace at the time of the rework's release, probably later this week, the resetting of the existing abilities to level 1 will not be reflected in the ongoing territory or GC. Pause. Come on over. Let me explain what that means. So right now, if you want to take advantage of Mace Windu's kit for Grand Arena, it's probably best to upgrade it right now. So max set abilities. When I hit lock later on here soon, I'm going to hit lock and I will have all the abilities maxed out at level 8 here, level 8 here, level 8 there, as well as level 7 here. So when the update happens, when Grand Arena is going on, it's not going to reset the abilities. Instead, I will have the brand new reworked Mace Windu at the appropriate levels that I locked in at. Now, do note, it seems like they're adding a couple Zetas. I'm guessing that's going to be like a level 9 or a level 8 on top of, and there's going to be brand new abilities on Mace Windu. Those will not be affected. I will not have those abilities maxed out come this Grand Arena cycle until next week when we lock in again. So if you want to take advantage of however much of Mace Windu's rework kit you can have, max out all the abilities that you currently have, and at least when it gets released, you'll be able to take advantage of some of his kit. But no one this upcoming Grand Arena cycle will be able to have a completely maxed out, Zeted, all new unique abilities upgraded on Mace Windu because it doesn't exist right now in game. So lock in whatever your Mace Windu is, remod them however you think you might use them. I don't think we're going to see the full picture of Mace Windu in Grand Arena, but nonetheless, it's important to know if you want to utilize Mace Windu's rework. It's unfortunate they didn't release it like today, so we can at least lock in the full upgraded Mace Windu, but still we'll be able to enjoy a grand majority of his kit, just no Zetas and no maxed out new unique abilities that they have. Moving forward here, newly added abilities such as Mace's Special 2 and Unique 2 will be at level 1 in these modes because we don't have the new Special and we don't have the new unique ability to upgrade right now. So those will be at level 1 this coming Grand Arena cycle. In general, an ability's functionality is not locked with a roster lock, only the upgraded level of that ability, which means the new abilities and changes of the current abilities will be live in Territories and Grand Arena immediately once the update with the rework is released at the ability upgrade level that was locked in. So as we explained here, one more thing here. How is this going to affect the Mace Windu Scene Conquest as well as Galactic Challenges? Well, it's going to be a lot better here. Third, the rework will also impact his viability in Conquest and Galactic Challenges. Normally, if you see a Mace Windu in Conquest, it's like, all right, whatever. Well, now you're going to see the rework Mace Windu. Very much so how when Grievous got a rework, it affected other aspects of the game. Now, I believe it's not going to affect like the light side, dark side battles that we see out here, but for Conquest and Galactic Challenges, it's going to be a more souped up Windu that you're going to be experiencing. This unit references the player's obtainable version in these modes, and you will face a Mace Windu with this new kit. And they said the Mace Windu kit rework is scheduled for this week's release, but as always, timelines are subject to change if you run into any issues. And one additional note that they just added on, my biggest question is, what is the order of operation when it comes to Mace Windu with Jedi Master Kidoi? Because remember, if you're a tank, you have the protection Master Kidoi's team. You're going to taunt, kind of like a Basilisk Shan lead type of thing here. They kind of clarified it, how this is going to work. We'll see if it actually works to be like this. But they said how this will work is when Mace has protection. Mace gains taunt from Jedi Master Kenobi. He will dispel the taunt, and he'll gain 2 stacks of the resilient defense, as we saw in this kit reveal. Brand new mechanic. It's kind of like a self-applied, merciless massacre target. So it's a taunt, but it's not a taunt. And then Mace does not gain taunt when Mace runs out of resilient defense and still has protection. It kind of sound like originally there may have been like an infinite loop of a taunting type of thing where he's just going to keep getting taunt and keep getting resilient defense. It sounds like there's a definite end period of when it happens, and he just doesn't regain taunt yet again. Now, there might be ways to reapply a taunt and start the cycle over again, but it's not a perpetual cycle of taunting and resilient defense over and over and over again. So important things to know about this guy here. I got to remod him. Probably just going to go crazy on the max health, since especially his new kit is going to be doing damage based on how durable, how much max health. He's got 5% of his max health, and I was wanting to get a Relic 9. Couldn't quite get it up and running. We're missing one droid brain, which I'll probably have it up later on this week, but it's probably not going to matter because this coming Grand Arena, we're not going to have the full entire Mace Windu kit to be utilized. Next week we will, but in the meantime, max out all the current abilities Mace Windu has. Mod him, I would say, for tons of max health for the current time being, and we'll get a little taste this week. And then next week's Grainer is when we're going to enjoy the full entire Mace Windu, but we will be doing a live stream testing of Mace Windu later on this week. I think there's going to still be a lot of ways to utilize this guy, despite them kind of being told how to maybe test out their Mace Windu and check some other teams beyond Jedi Master Kenobi. But nonetheless, I will give them credit. I'm glad they're not trying to do another Wampa situation, because that was a little unprofessional, and it seemed like they're trying to pull a sly one and a sneaky one in us. So leave that like, comment down below. Be sure to subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And most importantly, always remember that it's great to be in the Empire today.